So the question is regarding the D portion of this question, which is number 2 in chapter 3 assignment, where we're computing the third quartile using the location of the 75th percentile formula shown on page 118 of the textbook to 2 decimal places. So they want you to use that method to find the location. The first step is to download and sort the data, because if you're using the location method, the data has to be in ascending order. So we'll use the data file here. So the first step, if you're going to use the location method, is to sort the data in ascending order. There are several ways to do this. One way is simply to highlight all the data, including the headings. Come to Sort Filter in the upper right-hand corner. I use the Custom Sort method. Because I highlighted the headings, I can have it sort by the headings. I want it to sort by the time, the cell values, from smallest to largest. Click OK, and it puts everything in ascending order. In order to make sure that you don't get the labels out of order, you have to make sure you highlight both the city and the time, even though you're going to sort it based on the time. We could have just as easily sorted it alphabetically by city if we wanted to, but we wanted it sorted by the time. The next step is to use the location formula. P over 100 times n plus 1, where P is the percentage, in this case 75, and n is the number of data points. In this case, it's 48. N is equal to 48. So in calculating the location would be 36.75, which stands for the 36th position, the data point in the 36th position, plus the value that is 0.75% or 0.75 of the difference between the data point in the 36th position and the data point in the 37th position. As you can see, the data point in the 36th position is Dallas at 28.5, but the data point in the 37th position, which is also 28.5. So there's no difference between those. So that difference is 0, which means simply the 75th percentile is 28.5. For those of you who might be confused about how I selected those positions, remember that our data points didn't start at point number 1, they actually started at point number 2. So all of our position values are 1 off. If you really wanted to keep that straight, you could add a position, start at 1, and number these yourself by adding an increment to the position before it. Some people are confused by that. So again, the 36th position is Dallas. The 37th position is San Jose. Since they're both the same, you don't have to calculate that percentage of the difference between them. It's simply 28.5. So going back to the problem, what they asked for was the location of the 75th percentile to 2 decimal places, which is 36.75. So the third quartile is that 28.5 that we saw on the spreadsheet.